Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Adrian. I'm a councilwoman at large in the city of Orange Township. I'd like to welcome you to this fantastic day in the city of Orange Township, where we're going to honor the first retiree of the Orange Fire Department.
Black.
First black.
African American.
Firefighter from Orange Township. He was amazing. He's
Thamas.
Read the information about Mayor Shane, maybe the director of the fire department, only black African American pioneer at the time. And you were the student, and as I'm told from your family members, you were the first who were going out to black and brown people to bring Orange. And today, that's what we do today. So I'd like to bring up to you the mayor of the city of Orange Township, Mayor Dwayne. Thank you.
Good afternoon, all.
Good afternoon.
It's an honor today to be here because we don't get many chances to celebrate our heroes before they leave the service. And so you are here and your family is here. We honor you and thank you for your service. I know you came at a time when it wasn't easy to be a firefighter. It wasn't easy to be a public servant in places like Orange, but you persevered. And today, because of your leadership, you have spawned many, many firefighters. And you spawned... He may come on.
No.
They're preparing for your launch. And for your celebration.
Retired firefighter Rudatph, more affectionately known as Thamas, for his 25 years of service with the Orange Fire Department. Firefighter Thamas, who retired in August of 1994, is noted as the first African American to retire from the department. Firefighter Thamas is being honored and celebrated today among family and friends. We thank you for your service and may you continue to be blessed in your retirement.
Ladies and gentlemen. We do a lot of celebrating in this town, but nothing is more worthy than celebrating you and your presence and your legacy, certainly, of what you brought up. I want to bring up my council colleague, Council President Tensi Eason, up for a word of prayer and celebration. Ladies and gentlemen, Councilman Tensi Eason.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Firefighters, police officers, family, friends, and to our first African-American retired firefighter. Real quickly before I pray, I want to say I met Rudy, I called him fella. In 1973, where did we meet? Over at the Corvino fruit stand. Remember that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that was the hangout. And let us pause for a moment. To God be the glory for the great things He has done. Our Father and our God, we come to you this morning to say thank you. This is Thanksgiving week, and this is Thanksgiving month. So we all want to give thanks for everything that you've done for all of us, for allowing us all to come here this morning, for waking us up and giving us the strength to get to the firehouse to recognize and to honor our first African-American retired firefighter. Oh, Father, I just want to say thank you for his life. Thank you for the service that he gave to the city of Orange and the community. And thank you for everything that he did in the firehouse to bring new recruits, to recognize our black and our brown young men who needed to come into the fold to be firefighters. We want to thank you for him. Thank you for his life, and for thanking you for continuing to bless him that he's still here with us. I want to say thank you for his family, his sons, his daughters, and everyone, his grandkids that are here to support him today. Oh, Father, give him strength and give him grace and mercy as he challenge through the challenges and in life as he moves forward into another decade. Bless him in every way. Keep him strong. Keep his family around him. Keep them loving him and keeping them to respect and honor him for the man that he was and for the man that he still is. Go with us all and keep us. Bless us, oh Father. But keep this firehouse together and in order. And help our chief that he may bring order, peace, and harmony here to make Orange Firefighters one of the best in the city, in the state of New Jersey. So we're going to all band together and unify under you and your name and your grace and your mercy. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. It is fitting and honorable that we would now have the honor guard come and pay tribute. If they would come and enter the firehouse at this time.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a round of applause for our honor guard. Our youth at work. At this time, we will have Chief Brown come to the podium to give words of welcome from our fire department.
Thank you. For the fire department, I would like to welcome our dignitaries, our Honorable Mayor, Dwayne D. Warren, Esquire, Council President, Councilman Eason, Councilman Wu. I'd like to thank my director from OPD, Vinnie Vincent Vitiello, being in quarters, his command staff, and all the members from OPD, all the Orange Fire Department personnel that are here, and our retired firemen from captains. Captain Rook, welcome. Captain Retiree couldn't be here. We have Captain Anderson around the floor as our captains that have retired. I'd like to welcome your friend here, Rudy, that came to see you. Retired Deputy Chief Ben DeMarzo is in quarters. Rudy, we go back. My uncle used to cut your hair. Zeke Brown. Used to work in there with Shorty. So as a little kid, I ran around the barbershop. You probably don't remember me, but yes, the world is small. We all here at the Orange Fire Department look one day to fulfill our careers of serving the community and retiring one day to enjoy the fruits that you've enjoyed for the many years that you've been retired. But on this day, it's about a reflection of the time has changed. In that time when Rudy came here, Alex Miles was the first fireman. The second was Edward Eggert, and the third was Rudy Thamas. Out of that bunch, Rudy is the only one that came to full fruition of retiring from the department. He had the illustrious career of doing the community relations, going out and mentoring young members in the high school and the community to hopefully become firemen in the city. At that time, it was predominantly white. Times have changed and evolution has happened, and it's more of us of color, black and brown people in the departments today, in leadership roles and leading the department, and it's more of a mix today. That's a sign of the times. It's a great time. It's like a team. It's like a coloring box. We're all here for one purpose, to be successful, to provide a service. So Rudy, I want to say from the members of Orange Fire, we're proud to have you here. Welcome back home to the place that you walk within these 6 walls. You slept here, this is a home. We rest here, we provide a service here. We give to the community, we give back to the community. We fed on Thanksgiving. I hope everyone had a very hopeful, a very wholesome and safe Thanksgiving. All the food tastes better the next day. But today, Rudy, today is your day. And we're just so thankful that we can have you here, honor you on this day. For me personally, it's a great day to be here, and for the members of the department, it's just awesome to have you here back home where you started your career. And we wish you the best. And one thing, I know Chief DeMarzo? No, not Chief DeMarzo, but Deputy Chief Politti is here somewhere. So we had a call, Chief. So we had this call at Rudy's house over there on Burnside. A few years ago, Rudy, you remember it.
Yeah.
We pulled up, I was on the truck company. Captain Anderson was there. Rudy came outside and said, "What the blank are all y'all doing here?" What came in as a structure fire. The fire, I think it was a fan in the bathroom that started the fire. He was telling us how to do our job. Get the jump line, do this. And did you call other towns at the same time? You guys don't need to be here. Unfortunately,
maintained some injuries to his hands from forcing the fan out of the wall there. And Rudy was sitting there. I'm saying, this guy got some energy. So for us at the Orange Fire Department and the community of Orange, this great city we serve, and the Honorable Mayor Warren, we like to say hoorah and welcome. We bless you. All the blessings.
Thank you, Chief Brown. Now coming to the stage is a family member, Deputy Chief Long, who came in the legacy of Brother Thomas.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would just like to share some history of retired firefighter Rudy Thamas, and I'm going to bring up North Vulcan Pioneer President Charles Mitchell. It was a known fact back then civil service jobs supplied the employees with a good salary. Rudatph made his decision to join his cousin Eddie and become the third minority firefighter in the city of Orange. Rudatph joined the Orange Fire Department on March 1st, 1969. While at the fire department, it wasn't long before a fella previous driving experience was noticed, and he was entrusted to become the first minority firefighter to drive the big rig, one of our fire trucks. Fella, as they called him, was also trained to drive all of the fire trucks, including the snorkel, the hook and ladder, and the rescue vehicle, just to name a few. In 1975, the mayor, Joel Shane, had a vision to make the police and fire department look more like the city's population that they serve. So he commissioned Rudatph to head a federally funded program that would actively find and recruit minority people who wanted to become a firefighter. Rudatph was responsible for recruiting, counseling, mentoring, and preparing candidates to take and pass the firefighter civil service exam for the city of Orange. In 1981, Mayor Shane appointed Rudatph Scott Thamas as the interim fire director. Some of Rudatph's fondest memories of being an Orange firefighter was visiting the grammar schools around the city and teaching children about fire safety. He can recall one visit in particular. He was given the task to go into his alma mater, Cleveland Street School, one beautiful spring day to fix a flag that was stuck on a flagpole in front of the school. So he drove to the school in the snorkel truck. After fixing the flag, he had a fun idea. His first cousin, Hope Webster, another lifetime resident of Orange, taught a 4th grade class that was in front of the building. And what if he took the bucket over to a classroom window and make an entrance by climbing into the window to say hello to her class? Well, fella did just that. He can remember the words of advice that he spoke to the children in the class on that day. Children, if you're ever in a fire, leave the building as fast as you can and never, ever go back into a burning building. At this time, I'd like to bring up our North Vulcan pioneer, Charles Mitchell, to read the remaining portion of history.
Thank you. Smile. With a smile on his face, fella says he will never forget the smiles and laughter of joy that came from those children that day. Over the years, Rudatph Scott Thamas has fought many fires in and for the city of Orange, as well as the surrounding cities. He says the most challenging fires to fight are the ones in abandoned buildings. Abandoned buildings are known for having random holes in the floors, especially where there's plumbing has been ripped out by vandals. Rudatph has mentioned and encouraged many co-workers and city residents with his unique style and way of communicating. He has seen many fires come and go, but he stayed his course. Rudatph Scott Thamas stayed with the Orange Fire Department till he retired on August 1st, 1994. He was very proud to be the third minority to enter the Orange Fire Department and the very first minority to retire from the City of Orange Fire Department. Again, thank you, sir. You are a pioneer, and we stand on your shoulders. If you count the people from you to the members that's here now, there's a lot of difference. And without you communicating, going out there, recruiting people, you know, we wouldn't be where we at right now. You know, and that's go on behalf of the Vulcan Pioneers of New Jersey. You know, we still recruit. And if y'all don't know, this is a living legend. Some of our firsts have gone already. You know, our first, William Bill Thamas is gone. Shelton Harris is gone. Thank God for the third black firefighter for Newark. He's still living. 93 years old. I will say his name in a minute. I go to the brother house all the time. Dave Bolden. Bob Slaughter, East Orange, the first brother, recently passed away. Bob Sterling, Montclair, recently passed away. Garrett Wynn, today is his funeral. The second brother for East Orange passed away. So understand that you are in the presence of history. Do not take this lightly. He is a pioneer, and again, we stand on your shoulders, and we thank you for all that you have done. Thank you, sir. Okay, the Vulcan Pioneers of New Jersey was established in 1953. The first brother, like I said, William Bill Thamas, was hired in July of 1951. So we're coming up on our 70th anniversary of being a black minority recruiting organization in the whole state of New Jersey. The Vulcan Pioneers was not just in Newark. We had brothers from Orange, East Orange, Montclair. Every brother that was around at that time in the 50s were members of the Vulcan Pioneers of New Jersey. So it wasn't just Newark. So, you know, when them brothers got together, they went around to every state from here all the way down to Camden to figure out all minority brothers, and they all created and created a group. In 1970, they helped start International with New York, International Association of Black Professional Firefighters. Back in those days, that was in 1970. So it's coming from us being around here all the way to international. So you got Vulcan Pioneers from East Coast to West Coast, even inside the Virgin Islands. So we thank y'all for y'all diligence and y'all work. Again, we would not be here without y'all. We stand on y'all shoulders, and we will continue to recruit and get more people with minorities on the job. And thank you again.
Ladies and gentlemen, it shouldn't be lost on us that the Vulcans are here. That's a historical group. When I was in law school 30 years ago, the Vulcans came forward and said we have to go to federal court to make sure we get more minorities hired, make sure the testing procedures are fair, and it all came out of a small group. And Brother Thamas, thank you for your work and your diligence. It's important for us not to just advance in fire, but that kind of fervence went over to police departments and into city halls all over the state. So thank you for your service again. Brother Rooks, please come up. We're going to hear a word from a contemporary. This generation always dress smooth, y'all, so give it up for them.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Roger Rooks. I retired as captain from the Orange Fire Department in 2009. And I'm here to tell everyone a little bit about Rudatph Thamas. Friend, brother, mentor, teacher, father figure, fearless. There's just a few words to describe what Rudatph Scott Thamas, better known as Fella, fearless fella, Ru, and RT. 2.2, who doesn't know who? That's actually the size of the town. Pretty much everyone knew everyone. I formally met Rudy when he had a minority recruitment drive going on for the fire department. He asked me, hey Rooks, you think you might want to be, think you might be interested in taking a test for the firefighter back in 1981? I said, sure, I've been inquiring about it, but I was told at the time that the test was every 3 years. So he told me, now is your chance. And he gave me an application. And he told me to fill it out ASAP. Don't forget. I saw him about 3 days later while getting a haircut at Ted's barbershop on Central Avenue in Oakland Place. Came through the door and the first thing that he said was, "Did you send in your application?" I replied, "Not yet." And he replied with something like, "No time like the present." So he reached in his briefcase and pulled out another application. This time he had a pen too. He said, "Fill it out while you got time." So I proceeded to fill it out. I separated the app from the instructions, sealed it, stuck it in my jacket pocket. He asked me, "Are you going to mail it?" I said, "Yeah, after I get my cut." He turned to Jimmy Malone, who was the barber at Ted's at the time. And he said, "Does he have time?" And Jimmy replied, "You got one ahead of him." Rudy said, "Hey man, you got a mailbox right down the street on Oakwood Avenue." So needless to say, I got up and headed out to the mailbox. Even after that, he ran classes for the written test out of City Hall. And it was time for the physical test. He got them to open up the middle school gym. For those who didn't have a ride, he took the fire department van and drove us to Essex Catholic Girls High School for the written test, and again, the Union High School for the physical test. He's a real class act, I tell you. Since being employed by the department, we were trained every first day. After training, sometimes he would pull us aside and show us the finer points to the lesson we had learned, like what to do when you don't have enough room to extend the outriggers on the hook and ladder that we had at the time. Or the finer points of being a tillerman, or how and when to break a hose line off from the hose bed and hook into one of the side outlets so you don't charge the hose bed or have your boys falling down the steps because you got too much pressure. You know, it's nothing worse than seeing your boys roll down a flight of steps. I've known Rudy for more than 41 years. He actually came up with my parents and they attended Orange High School together. He's a great friend, a confidant, and he'll share some of his Rudyisms with me, like if and buts were candy and nuts, Christmas every day. Or he had another one, goes with same thing that makes you laugh and make you cry. Don't sell nothing that you ain't gonna buy. I'm very happy to know Rudy for all this time, and believe it or not, we still get our haircuts together. And he's not like family, he is family. That's real talk. I love you.
Nice, Scatt.
If its and bucks were candy and nuts, it would be Christmas all the time. If you go away with nothing else, go away with that wisdom. Thank you, brother, for your words. We now want to hear from Brother Thomas's family that has come along the way, that has been guided by him, and we're going to have Kevan Thomas.
How y'all doing? Good. Man, this is definitely different. Man, I'm Kevan Thomas. I kind of like grew up in this place a little bit. I don't want to start crying, but
all right. It's all right. It's all right.
Wow. Yeah, I'm hearing a lot, said. I've witnessed a lot, being a youth. I wanted to be a fireman. I even took the exam, but I got disqualified for some reason. But I had saw a record. It was like a fireman, so I bumped it. And I saw I'd be a fireman. He would come in from work like that. Watch me, a fireman. Run around, house up to fire, playing the game. And then, that was it. That was my goal, being a fireman. Didn't work out, but just going to high school, watching him be like only black guy out here, just about. So I stopped by, see him in the morning, me and my friends and stuff. And I didn't really acknowledge the fact that he was one of the only minorities in at the time, not being aware, more or less. But Needless to say, they all took us in like family, you know, like we slide out of poles on their backs and stuff like that. And it was always a joy to come in. You know, I had a weight bench or something, workout room upstairs, go up there, work out. It was like the morning hangout for me, pretty much. You know, while we go to school, whatever. And not to mention the worry about the fire. You know, you come in like, hey, it was a fire, you all right? You know, just the worry, you know, little kid not knowing as far as safety, just worrying about him. And wow, it's just a blessing that he's still here, you know. Man, Dad.
Fearless fella.
You did it.
Yeah, he came up with the name Fearless Fella. I said, why you call yourself Fearless Fella? He said, because of my job. That's it. I left it like that. We love you, man. You're an inspiration to all of us. God bless you.
It's good to know how a brother can influence the next generation. Thank you again. I do want to get a word. The state of New Jersey, we send Thomas Giblin to the Assembly every year to represent us in the state legislature. Our Assemblyman Thomas Giblin is here. I'm going to walk the mic over to him. Tom, you can sit right there. Tom has put in a resolution for our state government that'll be coming directly to Brother Thomas. Ladies and gentlemen, Thomas Giblin, Assemblyman.
Good afternoon to Mayor Warren. I felt it was important to make every effort to be here today to show respect to Rudatph Thamas for his many years of distinguished service to the community. I'm told the career spans 30 plus years, which is few summers, as we all know. The important thing is that he has a long and fruitful retirement, and I know he's going to have a good pension. I can calculate that one. And more power to him as far as that's concerned. But the critical thing is to have good health along with that nice check each and every month. You know, to be a pace setter in terms of being the first African-American firefighter in the city is a distinction within himself. Probably more times than he realized. He was probably viewed as a role model and probably brought along and encouraged a lot of other young folks in the community to pursue a career here as a firefighter in Orange. Orange is kind of an interesting community. You got A to Z as far as racial and ethnic groups, and it's kind of like a fabric of what makes America the great country it is. It's kind of embodied here in the city. This is a great time of year, Thanksgiving. Not that we don't like Christmas and the other things that come along with that, Hanukkah or Feliz Navidad or Kwanzaa, you know, with the gifts, but you don't have to give the gifts the way you do at those particular holidays. It's a lot of times it boils down to family and friendship and relationships, and you know, thanking our Creator all the good things that we had over the last number of years. It's been a challenging time, as we all know, as far as COVID and the pandemic, and gone through a lot of challenges, but we're on the right side of that, hopefully, and that things will get less and less as far as numbers of people who are impacted. But let's get back to the person of the hour, our honoree. I want to wish him and all those that he loves and those who love him the very best, and thank him for his long and service as a firefighter and a committed member of the public safety area in Orange. And all I can say, Mayor Warren, you've been fortunate to have him along with many other committed civil servants during your administration, and I know you'll be the first to admit you can be the mayor, but if you don't have a team, and there's no I in the letter, in the word team, then you need people working along with you, whether it be in public works, or the police department, or the fire department, or administration of City Hall, to really pull together in the same direction and continue to make Orange a vibrant and successful community is. So the very best, and let's have a festive occasion here today. Thank you, Mayor.
And while he's on that, let me just thank our team. Look around the room and thank our team of firefighters that are here present. Please give them a round of applause. Our police department is here. Thank you to Public Works. And a rousing round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for our Navy Junior ROTC. To Faith and Tommy, thank you for all that you do. Tommy has worked around Orange for a long time, was here when I got elected. Any of those you know him, you know he's always very serious, always about his business. Thank you, Tommy, for all that you do. Thank you for being a spark behind I do have a number of resolutions where institutional bodies like our city council, our city, and our assembly have recognized Mr. Thomas's service, and I do want to have those read into the record at this time. Our council president, Tensi Eason, and at-large councilwoman Adrian Wooten, please come forward to present the resolution from the City Council of the City of Orange Township.
Well, before I get started with the resolution, I just want to say a few things about Thamas. If you ride down Burnside, I don't know if the car is still there. Kiwan, the car's still there? He used to have this car that he's across the street from his house. Remember the car? Always clean on display. And I'd ride down and I said, there's Mr. Thomas's car. And, but it was he always drove a clean car, didn't he, guys? Yeah. He kept it clean. And I want to also say that Kiwan, I partly raised Kiwan, and Darren was a little older, but in that area where we lived on Cleveland Street and Burnside and Bradford, we were all family. So I still know all of the kids. They come around and they stop in and say, Missy, so you still in this White House? I say, yeah, I'm still here. Still didn't go any place. And they stop and say, because I always want y'all to be able to find me, so that's why I haven't moved. But anyway, I want to say that it is blessed. He's been on Burnside for years. And I guess one day I'll find out what happened to his car, but I always used to admire sitting in that same spot all the time. So God bless you. God bless you. Huh?
Is that why you like Cadillac?
Well, yes. Well, that's another story. But anyway, I'm going to read the resolution, probably just the top part. And this is a resolution honoring Rudatph Scott Thamas for his service rendered to the City of Orange Township Fire Department, and recognizing Rudatph Scott Thamas as the first minority to retire from the City of Orange Township Fire Department. Rudatph has deep roots in Orange. He was born in 1941. A taxi cab went away to St. Mary's Hospital. Boy, wow. And he still resides in the same house that his mother and father owned all these years. He attended the Orange Public School System, and he graduated from high school in 1960. So this is an Orange High School graduate. I think that was before I was born. Just kidding. He was a halfback for the Orange High School Tornadoes, earning 3 varsity letters. He played a big role and held responsible to his family. And he was expected to work as a laborer with his grandfather on a hauling, moving, and delivery company, but he chose to become a fireman. He was an entrepreneurial spirit. He started his shoe sign business at the age of 12, had responsibility for driving his father's businesses, and he drove all the vehicles, drove the dump truck. He picked up and delivered food and coal back in those days. Wow. And I also remember his wife, Beatrice Smith. She was a longtime resident at the time. She worked for the City of Orange. He had a position at the housing inspector in the City of Orange. He held a position as a gas attendant. And upon the advice of his mother, took the civil service exam for various positions such as postal worker, firefighter, and county clerk. And he was dedicated to the City of Orange Township as a firefighter. Commissioner, that you heard before, George Shane, asked him to actively recruit minorities, and he was diligent in that recruiting, as you can hear from some of the people that spoke today. He drove the Big Red, the snorkel. And therefore, being resolved, the Municipal Council of the City of Orange should honor Rudatph Tompkins for his service rendered to the City of Orange Township Fire Department and recognize him for being the first minority retired from that department. Let's give him a hand and a round of applause. And the blessing is he's still alive in his right mind to tell the story. God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you, council persons. In addition to the resolution that will be forwarded from Assemblyman Thomas Giblin, we did get an assembly citation from our Assemblywoman Brittany Timberlake, and it's going to be read to you by a future leader, a future something in this world, Lieutenant Junior Grade Toby Etuk. Please give a round of applause.
Thank you. So today we're going to be presenting the New Jersey General Assembly citation from the Assemblywoman Brittany Timberlake to Mr. Rudatph Scott. But before we do that, we're here to celebrate your historic milestone of being the third minority to enter Orange Fire Department, the very first African American to retire from the Orange Fire Department. Thank you very much for your service.
And then finally, there is one from the City of Orange Township, where you served so diligently. And whereas Mr. Scott has served diligently in the City of Orange Township Fire Department, where his service was not just putting out fires, but inspiring generations, where he was a person who was a family man, who was in the community constantly, who knew the value of service and passed it on to generations, to Mr. Thomas, whose service has spawned the activities, the rank, and the promotion of firefighters of every creed, every color, every religion, where he's inspired a standard of service that is duplicated to this day. And whereas we want to thank him while he is living and while he is still speaking, while we can still touch him, while we can still honor him, and while he can still inspire us. Now, therefore, it be resolved that I, Dwayne D. Warren, Mayor of the City of Orange Township, together with the Municipal Council, do hereby proclaim the city's proud congratulations and appreciations to Firefighter Rudatph Scott Thomas. I do further proclaim this day to be Rudolph Scott Thomas Day throughout the city of Orange Township. Ladies and gentlemen, this day would not be fitting as he dries his eyes, as we dry our eyes. I would like to bring to you Firefighter Rudolph Scott Thomas. Brother Thomas said, "I'll get up." Ladies and gentlemen, Rudolph Scott Thomas.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it, what you have done for me. The firehouse was a good profession. When you come to the firehouse, you're not coming to work. You're coming to a club. It's like a clubhouse more than anything else. You slept here, you worked here, and it was like a clubhouse. You come in, then at lunch you had someone go down, they take a menu order, go down, somebody pick it up, come back, have lunch, and everyone dined, and it was, like I said, it was more or less like a clubhouse. And coming to work, especially if you're in a good group, you enjoy coming.
That's right.
It can be dangerous, but that's all part of the job. So, being a firefighter is a very, very good profession, but you have to be very careful. I was one of the best. And I had good deputy chiefs. They were very good. And the deputy makes runs, everybody. There was Deputy Big Bill Mahoney. We did a good job at a fire. He'd go to Rango and get a case of beer, bring it to the back room. And he would say, "You guys did a good job. So here's a case of beer," and he'd say, "and drink it like men." And then go upstairs to his room.
We don't do that today.
That's all part of it. That's right. So that was good. And when I had the seniority, they wanted to send me over to Washington Street. I went there a little while, but had to come back to headquarters. Because Washington Street was a rest home. And it was just, you eat, you sleep, but it was no accident. It was only 4 or 5 of us over there, but I had to come back to headquarters because that's where the action was at. Yeah, so, and the danger of it was when you go to a fire, the only thing I was afraid of was getting lost.
Yeah.
That was a big thing, you know, and I didn't like to go down to the cellar because you only had 2 ways to get out, there's no windows, but I enjoyed being a firefighter. And this is the first time I've been back here since I retired. Because that's one thing that people do. You don't come back to see the fellas no more. I mean, we didn't. Because there was they're doing their thing during the day, and they really don't have time for you because unless you don't participate, which you know. But when I retired, and people before me never came back, unless it was something that had to be done upstairs. But other than that, come back to visit? No. You're at the club.
Boys in the club.
I want to thank everybody for being here. I appreciate it. And so many people haven't seen in a long time, and there's new people, but thank you, thank you, thank you. You're welcome. Muchas gracias.
Let's give him a big hand. The most honorary member of the club. Give him a big hand. As a mayor during salary negotiations, I never understood what was happening at the fire department. Mr. Thomas, thank you for sharing some light on all that happened. Let's give another round of applause. Yes, sir. Aren't we glad he did come back? We're glad he came back. Sir, it was a pleasure honoring you. It was a pleasure reading about your history. Of course, interacting with your family was a pleasure. The entire city of Orange Township really appreciates your service and sees you as an example of how we can be if we keep thriving and keep working. You did a lot less complaining and a lot more working and inspiring. We thank you for your work. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to end our program, but I did want to bring up our Councilwoman Tensie Eason to give us a benediction as we go out. We do have some refreshments. Chief Brown, please have you guys let the family eat first. If they want to eat.
It's the clubhouse.
Yeah.
I sent him out for a run.
Ladies and gentlemen, North Ward Councilwoman Tensie Eason, Council President.
Let's give Mr. Thomas another round of applause. Woo, woo, woo. As you can see, God has been good to him. He's still here. So this will conclude the program. So may God watch between you and thee while you're absent one from another and scatter the glory. While you're absent, and please continue to trust in the Lord. May God bless you. May He give you traveling mercies and your grace mercy as you travel home. And may you find your home in safe condition and all the family well. And looking forward to spending the holidays with all of you. So let's look forward to Christmas. Put up your Christmas decorations. Everybody should put up lights and do something festive because this is a joyous time. Just reflect on where you were last year this time and what you were doing. Everybody was afraid to leave their house. You were afraid to come out. And look what God has done. We're here today. gather into it for a celebration all together again. So for that, we thank you. So be festive this Christmas. Stay positive and learn to love and help each other. And let's put all the negativity aside and work together as a group, as a community, as families. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our program. Please feel free to take pictures. I'm going to grab me a picture. Please feel free to take advantage of the refreshments. There's drink, non-alcoholic variety, and blueberries as well. Thank you for coming. God bless. Good night.
Good afternoon. My name is Adrienne Wooten. I'm Councilwoman at Large for the City of Orange Township. Today I am at 419 Central Avenue. It is a great day in the City of Orange Township. Mayor Dwayne B. Warren, Esq.Honors, has just honored Rudatph Scott Thamas, the first African-American firefighter to retire from the City of Orange Fire Department. Today is especially important to me because it shows our youngsters and our young people in the City of Orange Township that we are history in the making. As one of the Black Vulcans from Newark said, a lot of these gentlemen have passed on. We have Mr. Rudatph Scott Thamas here with us to give him his honorees while he's alive. I think as a young person, and I have a 17-year-old granddaughter, I would tell her that she needs to watch her elders in her communities. A lot of times their stories aren't told, so when you watch their stories, you learn from their stories. For example, we have street namings all the time in Orange, and that lets young people know what's going on or what has gone on in the community of Orange Township. Today is especially important because we had the Black Vulcans here, and they told us that we've lost so many of these people, and we've not told their stories. So what I find inspirational and what I would hope that young people would find inspirational is to tell your story while you have a chance. Like you use social media to put out certain things, put out things that are relevant, put out things that can become a legacy for you and your family members.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Christopher Georges. I am a cadet ensign officer at the Orange High School. And today we're here for the fire department event. Chief and Jules, no matter what, like volunteers to come to the event. And I was one of the volunteers, and today was a memorial day for us. It was right on top, and we enjoyed it. And I joined the AmericanCity event because it's a part of the Navy, and it's part of serving the country, and I like doing that. I'm looking forward to joining the Navy or to high school. So thank you all for having me. Well, the school had a chief Thamas, and that gave me the opportunity to join the service. And one of my friends was in there before me when the school year started, and I wasn't there before. And then the first time I saw them wearing the uniform at school, and I was like, wow, that uniform looks great, I want to wear it. And I told my friend that I want to join, and she went to talk to the chief, and then the chief got me in. I almost couldn't join because I joined like really late, so I didn't have a lot of time, and it was not really difficult to fit in because a lot of things were like easy, and there was some stuff that I didn't know already, so it was kind of easy for me to join and fill in with everybody else because the event was studying everything. So March, so yeah. Well, in this program we have something called core values, which is honor, courage, and commitment. These 3 words will follow me, and will follow everyone, every single cadet in AmericanCity for the rest of their life. If they keep this with us all, everywhere they go, they follow the core values which are honor, courage, and commitment. These 3 words are really important to us and important to me. So joining the Navy, it teaches me how to follow direction. It teaches me how to do things the right way. It teaches me how to treat people. It teaches me how to talk to people differently. It teaches me the kindness, give me kindness, and I'm really happy to be part of it. And if I wasn't part of it, I would regret that. To people that think that the Navy or ROTC or Army things are like really hard and there's dangerous stuff in it. No, it depends on what part you're in, because there's many different parts. There's a lot of things you can do. There's a lot of different branches, and it's not always about dangerous. It's not always about bad things. So, to people that think that the Navy or ROTC thing is not things they like. And when you join, you're always gonna think that it's not good. After a few weeks, a few days, a few months, you're gonna realize it's the best thing that could ever happen to me. To me, this is the best thing that could ever happen to me in the whole entire school. And I will always remember that. I will always remember the name Chief Thomas because he is the one who got me in, and he's the one who treated me like a father. So I will always be grateful for him. And I will, for people that think it's not really good to join, it is. It is great. It's a great opportunity, and it's a great service.
Good afternoon. My name is Gerard Long, Deputy Chief, Orange Fire Department. We are currently in the City of Orange Fire Headquarters, 419 Central Avenue, Orange, New Jersey. And we're here today to acknowledge our first African-American firefighter to retire from the fire department. The reason why this is a special day is because back in the time that Mr. Rudy Thamas was on the fire department, he did a lot of recruitment for minorities coming onto the fire service. So he was also served as the fire director. So he's a true trailblazer. And in order for us to move into the future, I think we have to know our history. And Mr. Thomas is part of the history. So today was a special day. And as the mayor said, this is now the Rudy Thamas Day. So we're gonna follow this day going forward. I'm just thankful to be here, thankful to work under the fire department. And I'm thankful to have people like Rudy Thamas to tell us the story so we can follow in his footsteps.
Is being a firefighter?
It means everything to me. I'm from the community, grew up here, went to school here, so you know this is a job. I take it very personal, very serious because I go out there and have to help somebody that I know or somebody part of my family, and I just love to help people. So being a fireman means everything to me. I love my career. I love the position that I'm in to make some change, some positive change. But being a fireman just means a lot. It means a lot to me. In these times right now, I encourage all teenagers, young people to seek mentorship, talk to somebody who's been there about your problems and about what your goals are. Always come up with a plan A, B, and C. Establish your goal and then work towards it. So if you become a firefighter, do the research on what it means to be a firefighter, what the qualifications are. From there, you might want to take some courses to better yourself, but just find somebody that's going to be an absolute mentor to guide you through the whole process. Thank you.